You get really excited when a upmarket, premium, high-end motoring manufacturer invites you to the launch of one of their latest offerings. When they ask you for your ID and your passport, well, it's really hard to contain yourself. Land Rover has invited us to the launch of the 2010 Range Rover. And yeah, you can understand why I get so excited, because it's British, so with British heritage, I'm imagining, I don't know, the Scottish Highlands. Possibly even they could be taking us to the land of fire and brimstone in Wales. Or maybe they want to go really posh and posy and take us to the Cotswolds. No, not even close. They've brought us to Destiny Castle, perched precariously over a rocky outcrop with a fantastic view of the Free State.
Now, it might be the Free State, but this is an area of South Africa that can rival some of the most beautiful scenery in the world, and it's local. In fact, our cameraman so fell in love with not just the surrounds, but also the Range Rover and its talents within them, he went a little overboard with his filming. From dust to water, rocks and even horses, Jonathan and the Supercharged Rover were in their element. So, to the important stuff. What's new about it? Well, from the outside, not too much. There are a few subtle styling changes you'll notice in the grille, bumper and headlights, but customers told Range Rover, don't change it, just enhance it. And they've listened. It's in the interior that you'll find the biggest makeover. The cabin now offers more luxury with upgraded finishes and materials, although we weren't too fond of the wood trim, which seemed a little cheap for a car like this. All in all though, it's a sumptuous place to be with some really unique new additions, like the virtual instrument panel. More on the innovative dual view screen later, but you'll love the surround camera system. 5 digital cameras to help you see what's happening all around the vehicle. Driver and passengers sit in comfort with rear seat screens on our test model, and of course all the practicality and roominess you'd expect when it comes to loading space.
Yeah. Let's get back to the things that really count for us guys. We're going to talk the new motor in the RR Supercharged. Up from the 4.2 litre to the 5 litre V8 Supercharged. Now that is the same motor that we raved about in the Jag XKR, and it is quite incredible. 375 kilowatts. 625 newton meters of torque. It really does project this 2.7 ton vehicle along really impressively. And it's right about then when you start appreciating the speed in this vehicle that you're going to be grateful for the adaptive driving dynamics. And what this does, they basically use dampers on the car. So any induced pitch or roll into the corners, heavy acceleration or braking, it's going to anticipate and make the ride a lot smoother and obviously a lot more predictable and safer for you as well. My real problem is this. You are sitting in a very elevated, superior driving position. You are in the ultimate lap of luxury. So you find yourself a little bit disconnected from reality. It's like flying business class to Europe. You don't really realize that you're doing 900 odd kilometers an hour until the plane falls out of the sky. And that's the same problem you have when you find yourself going into a corner in your RR Supercharged, because suddenly you have that exact same sensation, like, oh my word, I actually am going this fast. And the only thing you can say is,
The team was truly blown away by the Rover's performance, both on and off-road. And with more performance usually comes a big black mark in the eco column. Well, Land Rover's still doing its bit there, and apart from the usual balancing act between power and torque and consumption and emissions, they've also added front wheel deflectors to reduce drag, and there's a smart power management system that sees the alternator charging the battery when it makes sense to do so, like when you're coasting. You're right, as if you're likely to be doing that in the Supercharged.
Okay, so I'm not too renowned for my 4x4ing skills. I haven't done too much of it. but they show me that Land Rover, and in this case the Range Rover, is just the finest 4x4 by far. It seems pretty simple. I've engaged low range, and it's quite cool with the heads-up display on the virtual screens now. You can actually see exactly what each wheel is doing, which diff is being locked when. I have engaged rock crawl mode, which is a simple toggle of the switch over here, and I'm obviously got hill descent control on as well. And all I really have to do is foot off everything and just steer. The bit that is bizarre is that I can be doing this while listening to my favorite DVD or CD, sitting in the ultimate lap of luxury, and the Range Rover does it all. What's even more insane is that we are in the Supercharger. I didn't realize that this was what this car was intended for, but it'll blow you away on the road and certainly blow everybody away off-road as well. But the most impressive part for me with the Range Rover is they've got world first technology with this dual view virtual screen. So what happens is, while I'm getting all my heads up 4x4 info displayed, my passengers can get to enjoy the DVD of their choice. Gypsy, vagrant, hobo, tramp, these are other words to describe Rover, but I don't think this is what they had in mind when they named this vehicle. I think they were more thinking globetrotter, or more specifically, a vehicle designed to navigate over rough terrain. Let me tell you, one thing is for certain, the brand new Range Rover certainly has plenty of range. And with all the incredible technology they've now added to this already formidable vehicle, you're never going to be left wondering. I think possibly the only thing you could wonder about is whether 1.2 million is in your range.